Hi, my name is Brenda Hernandez, and we're going to continue with Module 5, Video Post 1. What is organizational cultures? Well, it's defined as a system of shared beliefs and values that develops within an organization and guides the behavior of its members. It's considered the way things are done around here. The internal culture has the potential to shape attitudes, reinforce common beliefs, direct behavior, establish performance expectations, and create the motivation to fulfill them. Organizational culture is a major contribution to long-term performance. Strong cultures that are clear, well-defined, and widely shared, as they discourage dysfunctional work behaviors and encourage positive ones. Strong and positive cultures are performance-oriented, emphasizes teamwork, risk-taking, encourage innovation, and it takes people into consideration as a top management priority. There are two levels of culture in an organization: observable and core culture. Observable culture is what one perceives, hears, and experiences when interacting in an organization as a visitor, a customer, or an employee. Its culture deals a lot with how others view organizations. For example, this includes how members of an organization dress, how the office is arranged, how members speak to each other, and the nature of the conversations in which they have. And it's more of an appearance-oriented, focused on a professional level. It's basically what others see when looking into the organization. Core culture consists of core values, which are the fundamental beliefs that influence the behaviors of members in an organization. The values are vital and closely aligned to those of a strong culture in the organization. An example of this is when a successful company emphasizes the values of performance, excellence, innovation, social responsibility, integrity, work involvement, customer service, and teamwork. Directions in an organizational cultures. It is progressive leadership of an organization as well as a work-oriented environment that encourages its members. This helps the organization to achieve competitive advantage in the workforce and builds a culture that helps challenge what a new workplace should be. An example is Strides, Right Incorporation. They were the first company or American company to have an on-site childcare facility. They also began the intergenerational daycare center to accommodate the elderly as well as the young. Bureaucratic design is also known as mechanistic design. They follow more of a centralized organizational structure. It is based on logic, order, and the legitimate use of formal authority. It is supposed to be fair and highly efficient. They operate with a clear-cut division of labor, strict hierarchy of authority, formal rules and procedures, and career advance based on competency. Adaptive design is also known as an organic design. They operate with a more decentralized authority. They give fewer rules and procedures, less precise division of labor, wider span of control, and more personal means for coordination. Directions in an organizational culture is the progressive leadership of an organization as well as work-oriented environment that encourages its members. This helps the organization to achieve competitive advantage in the workplace and builds a culture that helps challenge what a new workplace should be. An example is Stride Right Incorporation. They were the first American company to have an on-site childcare facility. They also began the intergenerational daycare center, which accommodates the elderly as well as the young. Bureaucratic design is also known as a mechanistic design. They follow more of a centralized organizational structure. It is based on logic, order, and the legitimate use of formal activity. It is supposed to be fair and highly efficient. Adaptive design is also known as an organic design. They operate with a more decentralized authority. They give fewer rules and procedures, less precise division of labor, wider span of control, and more personal means for coordination. Adaptive organizations are flatter systems in which a lot of work gets done through informal structures and networks of interpersonal contracts. They trust their employees to do what is right and to get things done efficiently. They assume their employees are always looking for the best interest of the organization. Four differences between centralized and decentralized organizational structures. They include differences in time orientation. It's the characteristics of work units that happens when planning an action, from short term to long term. They can also make it difficult for personnel to work together. Different tasks assigned to work. Its units may result in differences in objectives. An example of this is when cost conscious production managers and volume conscious marketing managers have difficulty agreeing on solutions to common problems. And differences in interpersonal orientation. This can affect subsystem relationships. The patterns of communication, decision making, social interactions may vary. It may be harder for personnel from different subsystems to work together. And lastly, differences in formal structures. This can also affect subsystem behaviors. Someone who is used to flexible problem solving in an organic setting may find it difficult or frustrating to work with representatives from a mechanistic setting that operates with a very strict